We are finally at the finale of Criminal Minds Evolution. This is episode 10, folks, of officially season 16. And this episode is titled Dead End. Instantly, folks, y'all let me know in the comments right now what y'all thought about this season. And are you excited for the return next year, or whenever the next year is going to be, whenever the next season is going to be? Are you excited for next season, season 17, since it has been announced that we are getting another season on Paramount Plus? Overall, let us know your thoughts about this season and your excitement for the next season whenever it's going to be released. But what a crazy episode here. Douglas Bailey dead. What in the world is Gold Star, and who in the world came to visit Sir Lee in this interrogation room? I got thoughts, but Voit just sitting in there, and I'm just like, is it Rebecca? Is it a returning character? Or is it the Attorney General? I don't know, but that cliffhanger was just rude. I was like, really? Y'all not gonna even give us any bit of a hint? So truly now we have to wait until next season to truly see who is in cahoots with Voit here. If I had to guess, because if y'all want to know, I'm going to say maybe a returning character, because that way, that's why they didn't show anything, because they're leaving the possibilities of introducing a character or a cast member that's returning back, that has not been officially casted yet or officially back on board. Because if you do show somebody, then you got to kind of commit to this. But not showing somebody, that means now we got a couple of different options. So it could be Rebecca. She's being reassigned for whatever reason. She seems to be on the inside of this. It could be the Attorney General, and she's kind of like, well, I thought that only, Douglas and her knew what Gold Star was and that he knows. So maybe she wants to know, well, how do you know? Like, what do you intertwine with and whatnot? So, or is it somebody from the BAU? I mean, granted, it doesn't look like it by how it's filmed, but could it be Dave? Could Dave have some final words to give to Voit before it's all said and done? I don't know. It's going to be crazy. But anywho, we'll, kind of starting off on the top of this episode, Voit being in custody, and then, Rebecca wanting to know what's good with Gold Star, and this Gold Star thing is definitely the big what is this that Voigt's involved with, that Douglas involved with, the Attorney General is involved with. What is this? And this is definitely a DOJ issue, as they said. And the BAU is just kind of on the outside, like, we have no clue. But Dave now is in a situation where he has to save himself. And I thought this was really good, because as much as I enjoyed last week's episode and kind of being left on a cliff in terms of what's going to happen with Dave, one, getting more Dave is always best for Criminal Mind. But I just love the suspense, and it kept us on edge the entire time, because granted, you could kill this character off, because we don't know how much more Criminal Minds he has left in him and how much more Criminal Minds we're going to get in general. But just think about the emotional investment the fans would have if losing this character. We've lost other characters that we cared about, and this would have been one that just would have just shattered us. It would have definitely made us so much more invested in terms of things to come for next season. But I thought this was done well. He's having a moment with his wife, and his wife is kind of being the light. And I love how his wife is truly his safe space. So he's cool with coming to her and they're being reunited. But as she said, I knew who I married. Go be with the BAU. You got more work to do. And I thought that was a touching moment. And that motivation is only going to make Dave even more of a madman come next season. That's how I feel, But let's talk about Voit pointing the gun at his wife. Okay, that was low, but also very much on par for who he is. But now she's very much aware of how crazy he is. And, with this being said, Sydney now understands that this is over, and by how they're going to prosecute him by using his name and not their marriage name, this gives her a chance at a fresh shot of life. But as Voit is a very manipulative person, as he said, everyone's going to know that we have kids together and you were married to me, so you're not getting away from this. And he still tries to convince her, even when it could be all too late. There's that. And then let's talk about the Tyler and Garcia moment, which completely tore my heart, out of my chest, because I was really rooting for them. But I understand that, like, you know, Garcia realizes that, like, he broke her trust, but she understood why. And they also understand that they keep hurting each other. I honestly don't think that this should be over. I think they can absolutely, you know, rectify this and keep moving forward, because this was a very precarious situation with Sicarius here. So, like, it's not fair for them to give up on love because it is. But honestly, Luke is right there in the rafters trying to swoop in. And obviously been a big catalyst to Garcia making this decision. That's just how I feel. But I just feel like, honestly, like, I was sad to see that this was over, and she kind of was just like, bye. Why he's in the bed, you know, trying to recover. Like, come on, Garcia, have a little bit more heart here. But yeah, it's just sad because, like, she's not mad at him and she forgives him and whatnot. But, like, the trust that was broken because he used her in order to try to get at Voit to avenge his sister, it's understandable. But you understand, and then you completely just like, all right, but even though I understand, this is still over. I don't know, man. I had different feelings about that. I wanted to really, I was rooting for them, man. I was rooting for them. So yeah, Luke, man, again, it's very much hinting that, like, maybe, I'm not sure if I'm feeling that. I was feeling the Tyler thing, but Luke is definitely have some leverage now onto what happens with his love life in terms of with Garcia. So we'll see. But I think that when we think about, like, the political side to this episode with the DOJ and Attorney General trying to figure out how they can approach Voit in a way that doesn't completely blow all this up in their face. So they talk about, like, the legal way and the extra legal way and the options, and Rebecca being part of it, and Rebecca really not having a voice, you know, and she has to be reassigned and whatnot. It's just, it's interesting that, like, there's so much mystery as to what's going on, that if this had been the final season, this would have been cruel, folks. Cruel. Because there's so many questions, and I just do not understand what's happening. But we have got to figure out what is up with Gold Star. We need answers. I definitely want to give a quick shout out to Zach Gilford, who plays Sicarius or Voit, whatever. What an amazing job he put on this season, this entire season, of being our antagonist here. And the fact that we get more of him next season is kind of, one, I'm happy, but I just have no clue where it's going to go, because I got a feeling he's going to flip. I think he may actually become a good guy and work against the DOJ. How about that? BAU versus DOJ, in the sense of trying to figure out who's actually dirty and involved with this Gold Star thing. And the real thing that's kind of mind-blowing, that whole story that he was given to Sydney about, like, the government got involved with some bad people and it felt super fabricated. What if there's some truth to this? And, like, how crazy would that be? Like, granted, it doesn't excuse all his murders and whatnot, but, like, how crazy would it be if some of that they were saying had some truth to it? I don't know. And you know, now that they got him, they can kind of study him and learn about his killing ways and whatnot. Maybe Rossi makes another book and whatnot. But you know, it's just gonna be interesting as we get ready for next season, whenever it's gonna drop. I know I said next year, but whenever it is, who knows what it's gonna be. And even the moment of you know, the moment of Sydney coming back trying to get final answers from Sicarius was something, and Rossi wife visiting him. And that touchy moment. There was a lot of just good moments in it. And obviously the moment when we saw the flashlight looking through the tunnel and Rossi looking up, it was dope. And him coming back, everybody cheering and whatnot, was a dope moment. And then Douglas Bailey being shot in the head. And the fact that they tried to write it off that, like, oh, well, he got shot in the head because he was feeling himself. But in fact, it's because, well, Sicarius said, well, how many people know? He said, just us two. And then Sicarius said, okay, well, now it's just me. But it really isn't, because obviously the Attorney General knows. Rebecca's trying to figure out what's going on. So it leads me to think that Rebecca may be the one. It leads me to think that the Attorney General may be the one that's going to visit him in the interrogation room. Or is there somebody else that everyone's answering to? And I think that it will be amazing if it's a returning character, somebody that we've been wanting to return. I'm not going to say any names here, but could it be, and it should be left open for them to work out a deal to get a favorite to come back? Yeah, I ain't gonna give no hints, folks, but y'all can in the comments. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about this entire season. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about who y'all think is going to visit Voit in this interrogation room. Who is it? And we'll be back because we got more Criminal Minds once it returns. We'll be covering it then soon. But thank you so much for checking me out this season. And let me know your comments about everything down below. And we'll see you back very soon. Big gold bell.